Hi, you guys. Welcome back. This is part 2. Okay. It was given, it could be a one person thing, but we not finna do all of that extra. No. One situation, scenario, or multiple situation, scenario, you take it resonates for you. An emperor-empress dynamic. However, the emperor came out in the reverse. Somebody could be an absent father, maybe has father wounds. Okay, this could be one person. This could be a couple, romantic situation, right? The empress. Adjustments are required. Maybe when it comes to this main male in your life, somebody thinks about you, but maybe they hindered your trust. Maybe they hurt you. You could be in no contact with this person, or you could talk to them less than what you usually do. Maybe that's in a space of vulnerability or literally verbal communication, speaking less, etc. But this will be a time to express honestly, authentically, the depth of how someone feels, what they want to say, honestly. That is going to be really important on your end, the other individual's end, but especially self, being the main character in your own story and all. Freedom. This is freedom. And I don't feel like somebody is in this space of surrendering. Or maybe this person is like, I'm not surrendering, I'm not giving up, I'm not throwing in the white flag, I'm not withdrawing, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And this could be in a good way. This could be in, I'm not going to isolate myself, I'm not going to be sad and depressed, I'm not going to, let fear and paranoia take over. Or this could be in the space where somebody is not surrendering to something that could be encouraged, releasing, letting go. It really all depends. Bloodstone, power up your vitals. When you're totally bled dry and it's time to get into your body and start feeling your damn self, sleep, get some exercise, take nourishment, and call on bloodstone to drag your ass out of the house and face the day chin up, head high. This is how this bloodstone crystal looks. Now, who needs it? Usually the constantly overworked and completely drained by the soul-sucking machinations of modern life, okay? Especially Capricorns. The word is machinatons. I may not have pronounced that right. So that's the spelling in case I did not pronounce it correctly. But somebody could be experiencing a death and ending. But there's something beautiful coming out to this ending. This song, it's called Soft Like Dawn. It's by Naomi Sharon. And it's currently 6:06 p.m. It's July 1st. Happy New Month. Happy Pride Month. Happy July. Happy 1st. Okay. Angel number 1 has been significant. Okay. That new beginnings energy. Beating yourself up, way up. When the spiritual life feels like a moving target, when you feel skeptical about your true purpose on earth, when you feel like your yeah but thoughts are dishonoring the innermost you. Okay? When you feel like your quote unquote yeah but thoughts are dishonoring the innermost you. What's quote unquote is the yeah but, okay? The door of sovereignty is here. We got self-determination, liberty, freedom, free will, and release. This is the door of destiny cards that we were picking up on in the last collective, which is the part 1 collective. This is me coming back on live, refreshing, restarting the live, getting back into the message. So as always, only take what resonates for you. Somebody possibly just wants to heal and nurture something, or possibly needs to just be nurtured, healed, whatever the case may be. Something could be required on one's own end rather than from everybody else. You know how we usually feel like, oh, okay, well, on your end, this is what you need to do, and on my, it's like whatever this is, just like in the form of self-love, nobody else can give you that but self, right? So it's like in a situation as such, whatever it is, it's going to require something from self rather than everybody else. So if you feel like, oh, well, this person isn't, you know, doing this and that how I want this to be done because boom boom bam, boom boom bam, whatever the case may be, it's like there's mandatory, required, and there's optional or just only wanted, felt like it's needed because of one, you know, projected projections or perceptions, one's point of view, whatever the case may be, right? Beliefs, values, whatever. Now, what is necessary for this dynamic? What is necessary for this dynamic? What's necessary? We got the amethyst. It says, get drunk on your highest self. When to use it? When it's time to give up the victim routine and start living with purpose. Hold on tight to amethyst. Who needs it? Train wrecks who go off the rails on the wet and wild route to Bacchanalia. Okay, who needs this? Any Pisces. Remember we mentioned Pisces energy and it was given deep emotions, intuitive. So what this connection needs is to get drunk on their highest selves. And I like how I just got done talking about, you know, just to narrow it down, accountability. What's required of self, or something that's always tied to self rather than everybody else. So if this is connection where both parties are like pointing the finger, we most definitely need less of that and more feeling whole within self without the other individual. And it's not, hey, if you feel whole with somebody, you know, whatever. But for people who have certain goals or how they want to live or be in that space, it's for people who wants to be more independent, emotionally independent, etc. And also aside from that, problems will exist less, because the problems is just are created. There's really no problem, but there's traumas, there's triggers, there's dislikes, there's pet peeves, there's all these other stuff going on. Somebody can create the reality that they want and however they want this relationship to be. It can be created, but somebody just got to believe in the impossible, and they possibly have to trust. But I feel like this is going to take some type of inner work. Yeah, it could be other things that other people can do, but even if people don't do those things or rise up into that, what really matters is how self shows up in that area, turning those weaknesses into strengths. Because if somebody doesn't show up being able to be as vulnerable, that's more of a them issue rather than a you issue. Rather than something that's so, oh no, we can't get past this, is going to be a huge problem, da-da-da. Because when the ego and everything else is not involved, depending on how you're looking at something, some things don't really need to be said. It's already overstood, and you know, other things, you know. If you know, you know. If you know what I'm saying, you know. This song is called Safety. It's by Lekan. Yeah, see, now that's the heart's desire right there. Deep desire. Because you know how some people, they talk about, oh yeah, I want the marriage, I want the family, I want this. Now, heart's truest desires or deeper desires will be safety. I want to feel safe. I want to da-da-da. But if you have, like, if your root chakra needs some activation or balancing or tending to, not even just in this connection, but even in a situation where trust wasn't hindered, it'll possibly still be an issue, you know? So it's like, then this song come on, Heartless by Polo G. We got the citron crystal on the back. Manifest your masterpiece, yes. When it's time to really get on your grind and start creating the tomorrow of your dreams today, the citron crystal is going to help. Channel the energy from this crystal if you don't have it. But anyone with a big idea or a big dream, probably you, right? This citron crystal, yes. So even though we may not have the crystal, this still is letting you know what energy to be in, helping you be in, whatever the case may be in, which is the manifest your masterpiece. Because a lot of you are already at that space to where you're wanting to create, you know, see it manifest, live in that space, etc. You have that crystal? That's so cool. So yeah, that's really an amazing crystal and perfect for the individuals who resonate with this message to use. Okay, now the turquoise crystal is out here to speak your truth. Anyone whose voice has gone AWOL, and anyone who feels disconnected from the things that make them human, as well as when you get to express, when you've got something to express, get it out with the turquoise crystal. Okay, this crystal helps you speak your truth. So of course, we know that this will be significant for the collective to speak their truth. Encouraged to speak their truth, needing help to speak their truth. Excuse me, if you need help, that crystal, this turquoise crystal, most definitely can help. Oh, remember we were just talking about the heart's desires? Look at the green calcite. It literally ties to live out your heart's desires. Who needs it? Anyone who finds themselves lost in the forest of doubt without a map. See, remember earlier we seen the forest or the trees or whatever that was. Depending on how you're viewing something or how you're looking at something. Look, okay, anyways. When to use it? When your heart is asking for something, but you, aren't listening, okay? The heart wants what it wants. The mind wants what it thinks the heart should want. Call on the energy of green calcite to nudge that push and pull in the heart's favor. Okay, love that. Love that. Okay. So yeah, it's like you're the creator. You have these manifestation abilities. You believe in the power of manifestation or whatever the case may be. And it's like, okay, well, manifest your masterpiece. Make your masterpiece, etc. On the Empress ends, there's just some adjustments that are required, or the adjustments that are required can tie to the Empress energy. Creation, creativity, nurturing, whatever the case may be. Tending to one's personal garden, self-care, self-love. We got the pyrite crystal. Call on your core power. When to use it on that romantic weekend away from the kids. And whenever the energy to power through feels shrouded in dark matter. Who needs it? The chronically lethargic. Anybody sleeping on their potential. Wow. Okay. Pyrite. Yep. Yup. Some of y'all got to develop that foresight. Some of you guys can't see beyond a certain point or aspect, and maybe that's because you need to go out, experience, travel, literally go out the country or something. A few places. Get into, like, make a plan to probably go check out the historical facts or Just different stuff. I mean, you can, you know, Google those different things, but I mean, you can also just go in person and actually get your feet on the ground, your body, whatever, in that space. See this, see that. You know, getting on that plane and doing this, or getting on the cruise, and this all can, for a lot of individuals who are actually beings of travel or life travel. Come on, I don't have to break this down for you, do I? Okay. Travel. Main people who don't really care to travel is the ones who didn't travel. But you traveled before. You probably will always travel. Even if it's by car, okay? Literally, let's go take that 10-hour drive, or whatever the case may be. Okay. Hello, welcome in. I'm doing $5 readings, $5 questions. But if you guys have any advice that you're needing, I do not mind providing free advice. This is a free collective. This is the part 2 collective. It will be uploaded to YouTube, just as one will be. They're broken down into 2 parts. The first one is about 2 hours. This one may not be 2 hours long. This song is about Mariah the Scientist. It's called Rainy Days. Alright, any more messages here for this collective in terms of this relationship? This ex-lover. It says, don't let your past hold you back. So don't let this individual hold you back. A win-win outcome is forecast for them, for you, or whatever the case may be. This don't let your past hold you back can also be in other senses rather than like a person. It could be one's thoughts, one's fears, whatever could potentially hold them back, you know, as they're in the present, or whatever the case may be. It can really be anything. Tell me more about this don't let your past hold you back. Yeah, it says work through your fears. Some of y'all, you scared to be alone. Work through that. Others of you guys, you're scared to be hurt. Work through that. Right? Thank you. Okay, the answers you need are coming. The answers you need are coming. 5 could be very significant, okay? We got luck is on your side. Your dreams need a practical plan. Look at the bigger picture. Adjustments are required. What do you need to release? For this personal issue to reach a resolution, and confirmation of personal issue reaches resolution, what do you need to release? Okay, bring love into the situation. Hatred, resentment, etc. All opposites of forgiveness, love, compassion, nurture. Open heart chakra, okay? If you guys want to check out my reviews, my website has all of my information there. I don't just provide tarot and oracle readings. I'm also a wise counsel, a multifaceted advisor. I provide mentorships, life coaching. I work with family. I work with the youth. Okay. We got the door of learning coming out in the reverse. Okay, it says education, knowledge, study, mastery, and development. Maybe somebody hasn't opened this door yet, and this is what's to come. Or maybe somebody did. Maybe there's a lesson that still needs to be learned. Don't risk a follow me. Ooh, okay. We're going to use the ultimate 110 CBT. Love these, okay? So they come with front and back. So take high resonate. Ooh, I see letting go. Releasing attachments to negative emotions. Okay, there could be different forms of letting go, different forms of surrendering, right? These are the most, you can let go in any and every aspect. The thing is, what is it that needs to be let go? There go introspection. We literally talked about all these, and I ain't even shuffled the deck. It says examining one's own thoughts and feelings. I don't know if y'all can hear this, but this song is called Keep On Pushing by Lil Jeremy. This could be like channel song, like keep on pushing. Remember we already talked about that not giving up energy in the crystals? It was encouraging one to keep on being persistent. Look, perspective taken. So maybe a certain, remember the bigger picture type perspective we was talking about? It says considering other people's points of view will be a perspective taking example. Okay, introspection will be examining one's own thoughts and feelings. You could be doing this. It could be encouraged just to come in the future, maybe somebody else. Now, on the back of the letting go energy, which could be releasing attachments to negative emotions. It can be encouraged. It could be already being done. All right, problem reframing. This ties to viewing challenges from a new perspective. And maybe, like, literally, that's what somebody's doing. Like, somebody is, like, literally actively doing some type of work in a relationship. This could be a twin flame dynamic. Because we seen that twin flame energy earlier. We got break through your big blocks with the Vandanite crystal. When to use it is when it's time to live in the moment, when you are the prime audience for a motivational speech. Whether it's hard work, making art, or just a blissed out moment, free from the mind's ongoing commentary. An energizing meditation with Vandanite can help knock down whatever stands between you and your happy place. Literally, that's what I'm saying. What's interfering with one's happiness is possibly their they're in pain. They're in pain. And there could be this devil energy surrounding them, like fear, egotism, addiction, restriction, materialism, whatever the case may be. It doesn't have to be. It can even be touching a relationship, a union. Now, who needs this crystal? Those lacking self-discipline. Yes, because look, and then on the back of the deck, look at progress. And then growth. Right after reading that. So, time to progress, of course, is making steady and gradual improvements, okay? And growth is time to developing and learning over time. And maybe that's what this Emperor is. Maybe the Empress upright connected with the Emperor reverse. There was potential, but there was hindered trust, etc. And it's like, with this Emperor's heart space and who they are, and also maybe the lessons that they are potentially learning as well. You know, that's basically like what's going on here. Self-assertion is time to communicating one's needs and desires clearly. And I feel like this is encouraged because we had already talked about somebody speaking their truth, trusting to, or feeling like they can trust. And it's like, regardless if you feel like you can trust or not, still speak your truth regardless, because this, just like how you're forgiving people for you and not for them, it's the same thing. It's like a necessary release or healing, you know. So it's like, here's behavioral activation. It says increasing engagement in enjoyable activities. I feel like this needs to be done. Somebody at least needs to laugh more, have more fun. So anything that increases some type of anything that makes somebody, like, it's enjoyable, it's an enjoyable activity. I feel like they should do that. Maybe somebody has been doing that. Maybe they did it that one time, and it's encouraged to, you know, set up more time, at least 5 more things consistently. I mean, at your pace, of course. You don't have to drown yourself with fun, right? There's some of y'all who are drained. But I mean, if this is fun, I feel like it will take the drain the drainage right out. It will like literally seize that eventually. Labeling, it says attaching a negative label to yourself or others. Prosperity says laugh, cry, laugh, cry, laugh, cry, laugh, cry. Patience is coming out in the reverse with balance. Communication popped out and gratitude is on the back. Patience and upright ties to waiting without frustration or anxiety. So somebody is possibly in the opposite. On the back of this is acceptance. Okay, maybe somebody is possibly not being at peace with what cannot be changed. Maybe they're not accepting something. Doesn't have to be. These can be completely upright. Or, you know, a shift in what I said. Now, on the back of balance, with balance and the upright, it will tie to maintaining equilibrium in thoughts and actions. And it's coming out in the reverse. On the back of the deck is self-awareness, tying to reflecting on and understanding one's own thoughts and feelings. And this is coming out in the reverse. So somebody is possibly not as self-aware. There's possibly not any balance here. Of course, that's possibly why it's not. You could possibly have one person who's aware, self-aware, and you have another person who's lacking that. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like this could be some type of twin flame, especially if you believe in twin flame, whatever the case may be, dynamic where somebody could be mirroring each other, especially certain shadows, or whatever you feel a twin flame connection is to you. We all have our different definitions or outlooks, at least for like a handful of us, right? There's probably a majority who sees things in that same exact way. Some people see twin flames as karmic relationships, though. This song is by Janae Eiko. It's called Higher. Somebody is possibly not maintaining a balance within their thoughts and actions or equilibrium. Something's probably, it don't match. Something don't match. Or maybe there's two different people and they're like, they have different values or way of doing things. Or it's just something. I could see why this connection is where it's at. And you got this person who wants to try and they want to continue to give their all, but they also have self-love and self-respect, or they're continuing to build on this. And the more that they do that, it possibly pushes them in this more conflicted space where it's like, because it's like this of, okay, love this person, there's potential, but then there's also like toxicity or this that happened and I don't really trust this and all this. And people are probably seeing signs to, it's probably like just conflicting, very confusing, and that's why one is encouraged to go within. But if one's intuition is hindered or needs to be strengthened, then of course you gotta do that as well. So I feel like it's mainly like a more inner work to help this union become more balanced. It's more like work that people need to do within their individual selves, like maintaining equilibrium between their thoughts and actions, or, you know, reflecting on and understanding one's own thoughts and feelings. You know, how's somebody going to be able to do that with the other person if this barely exists to them? How they don't really possibly know how to do that, so how will they possibly know how to you know, it's kind of like a person, how you'll get frustrated with an individual who can't show up how you show up. And it's like, I guarantee you, if an angel is going to be an angel, a devil is going to be a devil, a duck is going to be a duck, wolf going to be a wolf, right? People operate in the energy that they're in. So if a person is not in that space, a lot of times it's possibly not on purpose. But that doesn't mean suffer and wait on this and do that. You don't really have to do that. I feel like there are other people who are in a space and energy where they're self-aware as well and like other things like that. But I feel like this Empress energy feels like this is a soulmate connection, or maybe that could be the case, but this is just one of those relationships that are more like, it's the part where, okay, like the twin flames. Like there's a purpose behind it. You come into connections to evolve, heal, grow, whatever the case may be, like that. So I feel like that's one of these dynamics here. And some people feel like you can make these type of connections work, but it's gonna literally take work on one's own end, you know, on both individuals, and it's gonna take two, literally. So it's like, what can help this situation is really not force, but just flow. You know, as one works through their fears and do this introspection or become more balanced within a certain space, you know, just be patient. Somebody could wait patiently with this in any way. Like, okay, I'll wait on this person without frustration or anxiety, without force, etc. Or it's like, okay, I can wait, but it don't have to be specifically focusing in on with this person. Like, I don't even remember what I was trying to say, but I don't even think that was it. But it was I feel like some could need, really, because it's something about divine timing and accepting some. Maybe somebody still needs to accept some, but communication is here. It says sharing thoughts and feelings openly. On the back it says active listening attentively and without judgment. So maybe somebody could be communicating but not actively listening, or this is how communication works, right? So this is called gratitude. Well, this card is gratitude. This song is called Houston Weekend. It's by Big Homie G. But gratitude is tied to appreciating and being thankful for positive things. On the back we have resilience, adapting and growing in the face of adversity. So going back to, this is reminding me of appreciating where one has, or where one is now. Gratitude for how far one has come. Not because, oh, I owe the invisible forces, I'm going to get down, thank you, kiss invisible toes, but more so reflecting. Because it's like sometimes when you're so zoomed into the 3D plane and just existing, you're so zoomed into all of that. And then it's like next thing you know, you wake up, you go from 15 to 25. You know, you go from your 20s to your 50-some years old, right? Whatever the case may be. So it's like, practice mindfulness, be in the present, but also, you know, introspection would be grand. And just like with this person, if your heart and mind is already not in something, that's all you're gonna see. If you're a person who does not believe in tarot and oracle, and then you come across people, it's like your brain is gonna mainly feel like not as skeptical, just because you already don't, you know, with something. So it's like, and I don't know if it's because, like I said, I got a lot going on with my brain, so sometimes I may not be making the best of sense. I be like, y'all bear with me. Or if, like I said, it's just confirmation. You cannot come into a new beginning with the same, because that's what it's going to give each time. Because maybe this is not red flag, run away, but more like this person is triggering you, and that's good, because this is actually not anything personal, but more so your own inner conflict and this and that and da-da-da. You know? Like that type of stuff. So when you're more open-minded, less restrictive, etc., it's more receptive. You can be able to receive, a little better. That's why I was telling people you have that open heart chakra. You can't remember your dreams. It was a time where I didn't remember my dreams as well. And I was like, what's going on? When you have certain beliefs like, oh, people putting magic on you or this and that, when you hear from other people, so you start like taking that on and probably feeling like that's the case. It can really be anything. It could be like something that you really don't have to worry about, because why encourage the energy of worry? Like, oh, it's probably something you should worry about. Like, just, it's fine. I'm sure you'll come across a dream again. It's fine, I'm not here to stress nobody out. So mainly you'll hear me giving content of, healing messages, etc. I'm more of an earth angel, if y'all are familiar with that term, light worker energy. But, I evolved myself. The same beliefs that I probably had 2 years ago, I don't have now. So I'm also very mindful on the type of things that I give out to individuals as well. But I'm not a fear-based individual. I don't strike fear upon individuals. I don't promote alienation, but I am very respectful and aware. So I make sure that I try to let you guys know, take what resonates. Every message may not be for you. I'm just reading the cards, okay, etc., right? But at the end of the day, I don't really have to do too much, because you guys are going to take things how it resonate for you based on the frequency you're vibrating on anyway, Just like me at the time. I used to be religious. Anything that was the opposite of Christianity, I wasn't going for. Somebody was literally trying to tell me something, and I just was like, I ain't trying to hear none of that. Da-da-da. It was crazy. I mean, I wasn't the type to go around being like, repent for your sins. Like, I was never that type. But whenever somebody, since I was taught, if people come over here and they try to shy you away from this, then this is evil, and this is, so it's already getting programmed. And really, that don't even be people's intentions for real, because I'm just chilling on live, whatever the case may be, and then people, they'll come in with a scripture or something, or all this other. I'm like, for people to really be calling themselves Christian or like all this other stuff, they really are not as in union with everybody as like I am. Like, I'm genuinely humanitarian, genuine, etc. Even when I was a Christian, I was never shunning anybody, etc. Like, they literally go against what Jesus was all about for some people. But even when my sister sat up there and had told me something about some she had said, I just realized a lot of people don't do things on purpose. Sometimes they are trying to help you because they feel like, oh, you're going to hell, or oh, whatever the case may be. But they don't realize that we also have our own personal beliefs as well. Like, I've been Christian. To me personally, maybe it was, I've just evolved into something else, or that's just whatever, But to her, it's like, oh, this is witchcraft and this is that. And look, I learned that you cannot, I don't debate, I don't argue with nobody. People see things how they see it. They believe things how they believe it. And the same thing you can apply, not just in political views or religion and all that other stuff, but even in your personal relationships or even things with the world. This is why I do the work that I do, because how my mind works, or the different growth, etc. that I come into, because it's very helpful as you live and navigate in the world. So sometimes I be trying to post my downloads or do this and do that and like all this stuff, but I'm still maneuvering out of my what do I want to call it? I'll probably have something to call it next year, because it's about the journey itself, Yeah, and you see these are people of like the witch trials type stuff, what these people are saying. Because sometimes I really want to pay attention to it, because people will come in, spam the same type of comments. But as I just read, it looks like something that people probably, like during the witch trials, literally women, human beings, burn them at the stake, or whatever the case may be. It's always at a stake, just like they did with Jesus, you know. If that's y'all claiming that's what y'all believe in, and that y'all are the followers and trying to spread the gospel and all this, that's not spreading the gospel, boo. That's something they look like they did back during the witch trials, where they were taking women from their homes just because they probably practiced things that other people didn't understand or felt like was evil, when the real evil was the ones who were saying something was evil. Just like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So it's like, for people to be able to come into that type of thinking, into those type of wordings, whatever the case may be, they're the creator of that. That's how I was so naive and gullible when I was maneuvering through the world in relationships, because I didn't know such evil, or whatever you want to call it, existed, because it did not exist within me. Don't make me school you, baby. That's what I am. You know, we always the teacher and student in our lives. A wise man knows that he knows nothing at all, but at the same time, hey. Shamans and earth angels and high priestesses and all these things don't exist for no reason now. They only exist for no reason. But yeah, that was a channel message. Killing with kindness, killing with knowledge, killing with wisdom, killing with excellence. Killing. Just don't let them kill your energy, your spirit, your genius, your da-da, period. Because that's all what's happening. Little do they know that you only dishing out, you re-dishing out trauma. You think you helping and saving, and it's not going on at all. And the craziest thing is that a lot of people just be blind to that, not realizing that they're causing the destruction and the harm every day. And that we all have the potential to do it. That's why I feel like awakening, growth is really important at this point in time. But, and this is also like a huge thing as well. When you say things what you say, and you drop the wisdom, and you do all these things, and people still, it don't matter what you say. You could be the nicest person, you can be the kindest, you can be the wisest. If somebody's just not at that level, they're not at that, you know? So same thing with this empress dynamic. You trying to force something to fit, and it's like, be patient. People awaken in their own time. People grow in their own time. If it just doesn't happen, trust and believe there's somebody better. There's something to where you don't have to wait, and who's already at that level, and like all this other stuff. You know, you create your reality. You create your reality. Either you're going to live in fear and worry and anxiety and victimization and, you know, dishonesty, like accountability, all this other stuff. Or peace, simplicity, serenity, calm. It's really, if you really think about it, we do actually have free will, and it's a choice. We be in our head, we get projected, shift it, get into a new perspective. Literally, it ain't delusion. Literally, not delusion at all. But hey, you come across my collectors for a reason. Trust. And as I said before, if you guys ever want to schedule life coaching, mentorships, youth, or family services, because I don't just do tarot and oracle. Even if you want to do a reading or a question, the list is open. Okay, open Tuesday through Saturday. Close about 7 p.m. But my shop is always still open 24/7. But when it comes to providing my services, that is like the time. I have a policy disclaimer and additional pages that you can find on my website at the 3 lines. On TikTok, they don't let you go into another app or whatever without I don't know, you just have to you have to copy and paste the link now. So I don't know if they changed that yet, but last time I checked, you had to copy paste my link tree or my website in order to get to it. You can't be on TikTok, click the link in my bio, click the link, and instantly see my link tree. It'll be like, it'll show like a gray background with white letters, basically telling you to copy and paste the link in order to get to it. So I do have other platforms like YouTube, etc. Usually I try to upload every live or, you know, TikTok upload that I do in the form of divination or just downloads that I have. But maybe every single thing that I've said, created, felt, done, whatever, is not on YouTube or even TikTok or Instagram. But I try to post. So you may find content on Instagram, especially YouTube, you know, TikTok. So feel free to give me a follow if you have already. Thank you for the follows and the likes. I appreciate that, with the gifts. But yes, if anybody wants to get on the list is open. We got $5 readings, $5 questions, many of course, but always bona fide, always efficient. Okay, nothing to where you'll be like, well damn, I need another reading. This one really, nah. Okay, now this is a channel song. It's called Love Me. It's by Justin Bieber. So I feel like before somebody tries to love anybody else, they most definitely have to pour that into themselves. Especially when a person is not able to pour into them how they want, need, and require. I feel like in order for this masculine to do well with this Empress, there needs to be some adjustments. Because even though the adjustments energy came out with the Empress, yes, they could be personally with her, but when it's talking about this other individual who's not really at her level, they got some work that they need to do, you know? But for the Empress to not stress themselves out, which they probably been doing this type of work already, trying to train their mind and everything else so that they can be in more harmony. But it's like, if that's even not working, then of course, like we said, that's because there's other things going on. Like, it's outside of this relationship and it's more so tending with self, you know? So it's like, if self has insecurities and fears and like all this other stuff, this, like, yeah, maybe this person triggers you and, you know, those things get exposed or whatever, but nah, it's like deeper than that. Some of these things came before this person even existed, you know? Or before there was a romantic relationship that developed. But something about higher commitment or like perspectives, even in institutions like schools or like church or something of the sort. Okay, any more messages here for this collective? What is it that they need to know? What is it that they need to know? What is it that this collective needs to know? Collective needs to know about rest, a break, something about meditation, needs to know about some form of rest. It could especially be mental. Okay, the Swords energy can tie to the mind, the mental, communication, even travel. But this energy itself is usually the card of rest. And when we're talking about love, it usually talks about breakups or being on a break, a separation, or whatever the case may be. But overall energy is rest. And remember, we just got done talking about church. This is literally giving like sanctuary, literally a metaphorical sense of peace. Maybe land something to rest, maybe being at a mental relaxation, whatever the case may be. Look, community. Oh, on the back, a choice. Oh, this could be deciding to stay or leave. Something. She said, you make me obsessive, aggressive. Oh my goodness. Look, this song is by Girlfriend. Okay, it's called Obsessive. Now look, we got the 4 of Cups that had came out before I was talking about this 4 of Swords. Okay, angel number 4 could be significant. Usually tied to stability. Okay. Mental stability, emotional stability is out here. But the emotional stability is kind of coming out sideways. Somebody could be in apathy, discontent a bit, you know, and a bit of regret. A little bit, maybe not fully. Maybe a bit disappointed, not fully. Maybe in the middle, in a imbalanced energy of apathy and non-apathy. Yeah, somebody just need a break so they can process these emotions. You make me obsessive, reckless. I might not spin the block, but I'ma spin the foreign. On the knees, think she want it. You make obsessive, aggressive. Ooh, now my feet starting to hurt. You make me obsessive, too fucking reckless. Might not spend the block, but I'ma spend the foreign. Only need but think she wanted. You make obsessive, reckless. Okay. Yeah, I did want to get into these, but these cards be too crazy. These cards really be too crazy. I think I want to do the shadow work cards rather than these. Yeah, I really need to make my own oracle cards, especially at different levels of growth or awakenings, because some cards I'd be like, ooh, these seem too negative, or these seem too irrelevant. You make me obsessive. Something about somebody faked their death. A child could be significant. And then it says alive. When I seen alive, I was like, okay, let me say that, because I know we kind of giving a specific message, but y'all know y'all's reality in life, you know, so I try not to withhold anything. So that could really be significant. This song is called FDP. It's by Shorty Shorty. I think I'm gonna start doing giveaways. Like for people who come in the live, and if I feel like called to give them, and of course multiple people. It's like 30 people in the live, like 10 plus people can win something. It's not limited to just one person. Yeah, wisdom is in reverse. That's crazy. We got protection. I feel like somebody's being protected, or they're protected. I feel like they just need to use their wisdom, tap in with their wisdom, or somebody is needing to become more wise, developed, grown. Somebody is going to be the discoverer of miracles if they haven't already. Ooh, it's giving testimony. God is my witness. God is my witness. I hate that shit. God is my witness. God is my witness. This song is by SZA. It's called Drew Barrymore. Actresses are significant. Actors, whatever. Oh, because I believe Drew Barrymore is an actress, if I'm not mistaken. The juice. Get these crystals for yourself, literally. It's about time for me and my Jonesy to go outside too. My doggy. Tell me the characteristics of this main male. Tell me the characteristics of this main male. She said, I get so lonely, I forget my word. Tell me the characteristics of this main male, this emperor energy. Openness. This is somebody who's possibly not as open. Okay? They're possibly not as open and receptive to... They're possibly like a fixed energy. Fixed sign energy is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. But this person doesn't have to be those signs. Maybe their partner could be. Doesn't have to be. Crazy. It's like, for example, person immutable sign, but act like a fixed sign energy. When it comes to certain things, the month November could be significant. Scorpio, South Node, ooh-wee. Don't let the past you. Hold your bat now. This could be for that main male energy too. You want somebody that's divine and is who they say they are, and we got objectivity, seeing things as they are without bias. This could be somebody who's biased, judgmental, fixed mindset. Yeah. Whew. Now that's just the hard one. Look, the lock is literally. But on the openness energy, it's a lock, right? And it says being open and receptive to new ideas. Okay, well, yeah, like I said, somebody is possibly not open and receptive to new ideas. Somebody can be, though, but it may or may not be the individual. Perfectionism is on the back, as well as external validation. Basing self-worth on approval and praise. Setting excessively high standards at all times. Ooh, this could be somebody else, care about their public image as well. Because I did see that energy. Oh, okay, so we may do need to come on up that deck may do need to come on up out here. Okay, we got visualization and strength coming out. Tell me the characteristics of this Empress energy. Self-compassion. This could be somebody who needs to implement self-compassion, or this is somebody who they treat themselves with kindness and understanding. Therefore, they possibly treat others with the same energy. Look, confirmation, kindness. Like I said, beautiful energy. We picked up on that energy earlier, in Empress energy. Treating oneself and others with care. So this is a very kind, resilient individual. And I feel like they may be connecting with somebody who sees things with bias. They don't see things as they are or something. It's like difficult. They're possibly not as open and receptive to new ideas. Maybe they can be trained. You know, train them a little bit in this energy. You can help them start being open and receptive to new ideas. But like I said, I'm not saying, yeah, do that. I'm just, whatever my brain is coming up with, I'm just saying it as I think it. Some things I say is probably not something I would do or whatever. I don't know. Not like that, but I'm saying. Basically saying I'll just be reading the cards, the energy. But I do want to start mainly going deeper into how I personally feel. How somebody should. But that's why I'm so open with it. Because like with evolving, me realizing the evolution from the past until now, sometimes my beliefs are literally not the same. So therefore, how I feel about something won't be the same. So that's why I try to just give a message how the cards, I feel like the cards are saying and what I'm able to give based on my own awareness or what exists to me. And I try to also make sure I don't say a message that I want to see. But something mainly, you know, the messages where it's like, this ain't what you want to hear, this is what you need to hear. Oh my gosh. Yo, we're gonna have to charge the phone. We're gonna have to charge the phone. Because and get some more water, because this song is by Tink. It's called Can I? And remember earlier we had seen that energy where it was like someone wants to court you. Oh, we got mind reading. Somebody is constantly connecting with each other on a spiritual level. But I feel like that same connection needs to also be on the physical. So whatever it is in each and every aspect, balance out the spiritual and the practical. Whether it's with your dreams, your goals, within and outside of the relationship, whatever the case may be. Even the relationship with yourself, you know, personal goals, rather than that could be exercising, being consistent, not people pleasing if that's what you want to do, your goal you have in mind. Just examples. Self-rewarding things. And this is not in a like bad way, of course, whatever bad means, when it ties to doing something for self. Giving oneself positive reinforcement could be encouraged, if not already. You know, even the energy of empathy. Like, think of some things that you do. You know, you experience the energy of shame, feeling like something was ridiculous or whatever the case may be, foolish to do, and you just feel like a certain energy or whatever. A person who probably tells you, oh, I did the same thing when I was young, don't even feel bad. You will probably feel a little lighter for some, right? So it's kind of like, even if you don't have the external validation I was talking about earlier, still provide self with, you know, I'm going to be self-compassionate. I'm going to, like, whatever the case may be. You know, you see how we was talking about these different key terms that I just used in different ways. Sometimes you can look at it as encouraging you to step into a certain energy that's just as beneficial to you as well as others. And also in a space of, damn, I done lost my train of thought. But everything is not always about, oh yeah, you have to do this, do this, do this. You need work to do, work to do, work to do. Sometimes you're also actively implementing these things, done these things in the past, are and was consistent with different stuff, you know? It doesn't always have to be, oh yeah, prepare to hear something bad or something that's like, yep, you got this to do, you got that. But like I said, this person, somebody just really needs gentleness, peace, simplicity. No drama, no extras. They don't need anything vague. They need clearness. They don't need uncertainty. They need trust. Yeah, so somebody speaking truth, it could tie to trust. It doesn't, whatever truth they're speaking could tie to trust. Like, hey, I need trust. I want to trust you. I need to trust you. Confirm objectivity in the reverse. Because look at here. We got self-assertion, communication. Okay, communicating one's needs and desires clearly. So somebody is not communicating one's needs or desires clearly. Maybe this person hasn't gotten the chance to do this. This could have even been in childhood. You know, sometimes what was given or not given as a child, received, not received, whatever the case may be, it could shift some things, you know, to whether adult life could most definitely be different than if something was implemented or wasn't. But this objectivity energy in the reverse, seeing things as they are without bias. Wow. So maybe somebody shuts something down when they feel like something is just like injustice. That's literally what that's given. Like I said, I just be trying to read the cards and it's literally what is given. Objectivity and upright, seeing things as they are without bias. That's most definitely giving justice, right? Fair for all, without bias. Now, objectivity is complete reverse. Injustice, possibly not letting somebody vent or somebody could be being selfish. Yeah, okay, so when we talking about that type of selfish, because I know when I was like, in whatever bad means when it comes to doing things for self. Of course, we're not talking about anything that's non-reciprocal and just take. No type of giving energy. And even if it is some type of energy, if there's lack of effort or if there's low consideration, it's like you can really tell when certain things are from the heart. But like I said, if somebody has a hindered heart space, sometimes people could be trying, and in other senses, some people could possibly just be being lazy in the way. But
the countdown to the 4th of July has begun. Shop our exclusive brand products only at Kroger. Fire up the grill to make delicious hamburgers.
So let's see how this Empress is feeling. How does the Empress feel towards the... How does the Empress feel in terms of this man? How does the Empress feel? How does the Empress feel? We got shame in the reverse, so heavy on the self-compassion. However they are feeling or were feeling, they possibly were providing a healthy mechanism. Or they just developed in some type of self-compassion, etc. So where there's literally no shame. Okay, so either this Empress doesn't feel shameful in terms of this male energy, or there's no shame expressed, like pushed towards that male energy. Maybe just curiosity for some. Maybe this person is just very understanding, non-judgmental, compassionate. What energy is this male in towards this Empress? What energy does he feel towards the Empress? Excitement. Oh, and then we have boredom. What the hell? It's a good thing both of these came out together, right? Maybe up and down. Maybe 1 minute their expression is this. Maybe the next minute their expression is this. Right? Maybe this could be how the Empress feels. Like, the Empress could feel like, oh, I'm bored with you. And the Emperor could feel like, I'm excited with you. Right? It really all depends. But it says balance your excitement with a calm focus. Try something new or learn a skill. So this all together, reading the sentences, can be somebody putting their energy into something. Hey, pumpkin. It could be them balancing that excitement and all that energy with a calm focus. Maybe trying something new or learning a new skill. Maybe this could be what's going on. So maybe this person could have like a hobby or something that's got their attention. That could be bringing their energy down or bringing it into a balance. I feel like it's not too late when it comes to something here. Somebody could have been with each other for over a year, more than a year. The month of April could be significant. The springtime. Or whatever season it is. I think that's the spring. Look, it's not too late. Came out again. So confirmation for those who needed that. It's not too late. Tapping into inner power and courage is out here. Okay, let's get some of these cutesy messages. Well, it may not come out cutesy, honey. Let's see. Can I get precise messages here for this Emperor-Empress dynamic? Earth sign, 999, karma. We got so addicted to you. Literally, told you. Addictions here. Give me messages in terms of this. We got no contact in the reverse. So like I said, for some of y'all, you are in contact. Or for others, like you reconciled not long ago. Maybe 4 years is significant. Somebody in contact. It says, I'm still growing. Thanks for patience. I feel like this person is still growing now and will be in the future. But a date night is significant. Maybe you're going to be going on a date, or maybe in the past a date was significant, or maybe there were other romantic offers. 910 could be significant. Angel number 4, we got stress. Somebody possibly was stressed about the Empress getting into another connection. This person knows that somebody was right, but they like, well, if you leave, I'll still be here. How does this person feel about this Empress? Meant to be, meant to stay. These people feel like y'all were meant to be and meant to stay, especially in the past. They could still feel this way, but it probably decreased a little bit, but they still are in the energy for some, or maybe it increased. I just feel for some it actually got lower, but it's still there, you know. How does this Emperor feel towards this Empress? We got karma, karma, karma. Something about karma. Maybe the Empress helped this person believe in karma. Maybe this person feel like the Empress is karma. Like, ooh, we don't burn, don't touch. Or maybe this person feels like this is what this person brought, karma. Or maybe they feel like there's some type of negative energy. Lessons, consequences. It says, don't ever leave me. This could have been said, everybody the same, but not you. Queen, not you. King, 7 of Swords. Yeah. It says, don't look back. Okay, what's going on within this dynamic? Then it's Empress. What's going on is plenty of fish in the sea. There is plenty of fish in the sea. Or is there? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I lose control around you. Your energy is so potent. Okay, what else? What else? What else? You make my soul squeal. Damn, not the soul. Alright, what else? Somebody is like, I want to actively listen to you. Or somebody literally actively listens. Okay, it says, I love your style. Somebody is genuine. Genuinely curious, genuinely attentive. Okay, it says, I'm coming towards you. This is future energy. Somebody's coming towards you in the future. In the future, someone will be coming towards you. Alright, it says, you turn me on. And it says, you are my most precious gift. Somebody could feel like you're a gift. You could feel like well, whoever the Empress is, okay? Not aware in reverse. If you leave, I'll be here still. Yeah, somebody gonna do a lot more. They gonna have to do a lot more action than talking. That's what this is giving. They gonna have to do a lot more action than talking. We got the summertime coming out in the reverse. It was a hot summer, but it was a cold love life. We got take a break. This year is coming out in the reverse. Somebody like, man, this year was not how I envisioned. There was fireworks, there was a New Year's, and now this is not what I thought was gonna be happening. We got just around the corner in the morning time. Well, I feel like this Empress is most definitely, like, they pour into themselves, but I feel like they could use a little bit more, because it's like, you don't want to be the person to be like, I can't win for losing. You know, you want to always have wins. And I'm not saying that in the sense of you want to always make sure you have wins. I'm saying it like being who you are, being in this energy of irritation and depression, all this other stuff. It's like, what? You infuriate? What? Like, it's like, nah. Some of y'all done got bored with this situation, with this person. Or they done got bored with somebody who they have a child with. You make them excited. The other individual, they don't add any excitement. It's just like, you stay on this person's mind. So yeah, there's literally no competition. There's hatred here. I don't know if somebody is hating on you. This person, yeah, whoever that person is, they know better, because that person is for sure not changing. It was, or maybe the person that this Empress is giving grace to, they're not changing, and there could have been love in that lust, or whatever the case may be, but, or maybe something can develop into something more healthier. But once again, ooh, look, confirmation. And this is such a beautiful card. It says divine timing at play. Then we have way off in the future. Something about June is significant. In less than a month. In less than a month is significant. So something about last month or the beginning of this month could be significant. It says not in this lifetime. Confirm not in this lifetime. Confirm not in this lifetime. Stressful decision. This song is She DGAF by The Internet. Now this song is called Truman Show by Legion and MERGES. Taurus. So this could be somebody's thoughts. This could be somebody's thoughts, their way of thinking. That, oh, not in this lifetime. Maybe this could be in a way of them saying, like, oh, not in this lifetime. This is not how this is going to be. Or it's like, oh, not in this lifetime. I don't feel like, I feel like there is a missed opportunity. I feel like it's past. But maybe that's confirmation that it's something that is not necessarily too late. But look, like I said, this is mainly what consumes somebody's energy. So, of course, that's how the energy going to be. But in actuality, there's opportunity. There's new beginnings and fresh starts here. But it just takes this creator to create, nurture themselves. Change is always happening. And I feel like there was some type of internal and external change here as well. But somebody's heart space didn't change. Somebody's money changed. Love life changed. Life changed. Relationships changed. Their energy changed. Their experiences. This has made them wiser. More discerning. But I feel like this person wants a new beginning. There's an ending of a cycle, ending of a chapter here, successfully moving forward, headed into calmer waters. And I feel like somebody could have gave somebody a chance, and then it was destruction, chaos. Or it's like somebody is wanting that fresh start, new beginning. Leave everything behind us, let's move forward type energy. Okay, I was like, what the heck is this stick supposed to be in here? Any more messages here? This song is by KWN. It's called One Way or Another. Somebody's like, somebody trying to get somebody to stay. One way or another. And I feel like it's this back and forth of, okay, we like 2 peas in a pod versus, oh, we like water and oil. And it's like a back and forth of that energy. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Resistant to change. Okay, accident, upsetting news, misled by false signals, steer clear. Ooh, cold shoulder, frozen, put it on ice for a while. Yeah, I feel like this is somebody, it's some type of upsetting news, right? But it's literally giving me this energy. Look, put it on ice for a while. The signs may not be as clear. There may be an illusion. Currents are too strong. Find solid ground. Because if something is inconsistent, unstable, uncertainty, this and that, maybe we should pay attention to that. Feeling out of sync, not you know, it's something that's just not compatible with you. Somebody's starved for attention. There's empty promises. It's like a lot going on. I understand the love is there, and then you feel like there's like potential, but the signs that you're seeing, they're misleading, or they're just not signs for you. You know, like you're at a traffic light. You're at 2 different traffic lights. Yours say green and the other people say red. But the people who's on the red side goes instead of stops. It's like, yes, the sign does say go, but not for you. Yes, this is a sign, but maybe not for you. Or maybe not in this sense, maybe not in this way. Right? It says your eyes are fully open, seeing what's possible. Your eyes are fully open, seeing what's possible. So maybe some of you guys are feeling like, well, you're an optimistic individual, but maybe even the wisdom or whatever you obtain is literally letting you know, hey, this is literally no point. Like maybe you have this person that's trying to persuade you, like, hey, da da, and then you feel how you feel, and there's also what you see, and then you get these signs that are kind of like mixed signals or confusing, or you don't know because it's like an illusion. Maybe you think you know, but there's like a misinterpretation, or maybe you do know, but you're like second guessing. Like, it can really be many things, and for some of you guys, that's not your story, you know. You know, messages in terms of the advice for this empress towards this emperor situation. All right, this is beyond your ability, right? This is something that's outside of your control. Only God itself can possibly bring forth a miracle in this dynamic. You alone, you can be once again the nicest, the wisest, the this, the that, the most loving individual, and that still won't make a person match that energy because they're just not in that energy. It ties to capacity. If we are on an elevator and it's only 2,000 pounds, but at this point the elevator is reaching 2,200, now we hearing, now, you know, it's like, okay, proceed with caution. Right? It says done to death. Maybe something was done to death, like done, reached its full whatever. Okay, and it says not viable. Let's see. Can you pay with tokens? Do you mean gifts? You can send a galaxy or anything that equals up to $5 mark. Okay, and viable is workable. That's what it means. So it's just something that's not working. It's not working. But it's deeper than just not working. It's like it can't work. Which is crazy. But I feel like this person is really of optimism and hope and, you know, shifted perspectives and like on this thing, which is great. But if something is just still seeming like it's not working, maybe try a different approach. Maybe be patient and allow something to form in on its own time. Because maybe whatever this is that one is wanting to manifest, it can't really happen. It's possibly not happening when someone wants it. Or it's just like more growth and time and awareness and everything else is necessary. If something ain't broke, don't fix it. And in this situation, it's been broken, continuously. It can get even more broken. And it's to the point where it can't even be repaired. Remember, I told y'all about IMPASSE. Not able to make progress. So if something is just at that mark, because even I'm with y'all, I'm trying to be just as positive and everything else and trying to, you know, like let people know, hey, you can do reconciliation. Couldn't be a good, you know, it could. But at the same time, when you're like a wise individual it's deeper than fears and all this other stuff. It's things that you've actually seen with your eyes, that you've actually felt with your heart and soul. There's hurt here. There's still pain here. And when you're operating from a hindered heart space and you still have people who are growing, evolving as well, of course, this is going to seem like a push-pull dynamic. It's going to possibly become draining, etc., especially when people are, unaware, or they're, easily irritable or easy to anger, like all these different things. So it's just like patience, that inner work and personal wholeness, yeah. Now, speaking of this, we got peaceful outcomes and relaxation aids decisions. This song is called I Am Woman by Emmy Melly. Yes, you are powerful, brilliant, strong, amazing woman. Gender bias by all means, honey, but like I said, woman. Somebody could be tapping into inner power and courage, or this is literally like, hey, tap into that because it's there. And some of y'all, you may have been able to tap into it because of all these challenges and all this other stuff that you have been experiencing as well, especially in this relationship, right? Any more messages here for this Empress? You get a lucky break. It's a successful venture. Don't risk it all on this. It's a losing proposition, okay? These are my yes and no cards. So it's coming out sideways. So I read both of them. Right? Take the how it resonates for you. Usually when I see sideways energies, I look at them as a mixture of both energies, or like this balance or back and forth like type energy. But gambling, Russian roulette, or whatever this game is could be significant. Vegas. Okay, insects or certain bugs, wildlife, nature, stuff like that could be significant. Okay, death and rebirth, the skull here, zombies, yeah, I said death, yeah. Okay. Gardening, watering, okay, flowers, stuff like that. Relaxation, laying down in the grass. Tender moments, relaxing moments, okay, lost treasures, things on the ground, photography, stoplights, movies or shows or whatever the case may be, especially if they represent some type of higher power or something, or actually it's like many things. Looking at it in person, you get something different. When I was looking at it through the camera, it was showing me like this path and all this other stuff. But now I see the skies, the shifts. This could literally be like, yeah, and then down here it says follow the guidance. It leads to truth. Because there's like this cloudy skies, you can't see anything. It's like, hey, follow the guidance. Because she's walking down that path. What is the collective encouraged to do in terms of this situation in connection with this person? Okay. We got, it's the icing on the cake. All this and sprinkles too. This card kind of came out like this a bit, or whatever the case may be. So the no energy says no frills, wait for more. Plain to see it won't work. So yeah, I feel like just play the waiting game with this situation, but not in a space to where you're genuinely waiting and in stagnancy because of wait. No, like things continue to move on, and so do you. That's the whole point of letting go and or whatever the case may be. Anyway, like, it's not forcing and living in this space like, okay, we're gonna be together again, I'm gonna wait on you. No, it's more like, okay, I'm gonna let go because this is just not working. But hey, if it's meant to be, it'll be. In the sense of whatever is going to be for you by the time that you get there and then you exit up out of here, that's just literally fate and destiny. So that's naturally what's ever going to happen anyway, which is inevitable. So it's like, well, whatever it's going to be for me, it's going to be for me. But you guys, I got to go. My phone is on 1%. Take the messages as always. High resonate.